Hello everybody, it is Al Night, it is Brony time, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Well, justice for all, my mistake there. Anyway, when we last left off, we finally unlocked the Magatama, and now we're headed back to the detention center to talk with, Maya, so, let's go.
Mr. Nick,
What's wrong?
I've never left Karain Village.
Really? Wow, that's, pretty amazing.
You're going to meet with Mystic Maya, aren't you? Please tell her I said hi.
Hey, wait! She ran off, again. Well, I know we need secret now, but still don't have any idea how I'm going to save Maya. I don't even know if I should go in there with a smile or a straight face. What am I supposed to do? I'm almost out of time. Can I really do anything? Can I really save her? Sorry to keep you waiting. Must be Maya. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Phoenix? That voice. Mia!
Even without me being here, it looks like you've learned to stand on your own.
Mia. She's Maya's older sister, and my mentor. She was a top-notch defense lawyer, but a certain case forced her into retirement. But whenever I'm in trouble, she comes to help. Just like this. Her spirit comes back from the other world and borrows Maya's body for a bit. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client. A lawyer has so many smiles, no matter how bad it gets, and especially when it's bad. Mia, you can't smile at the end if you haven't been smiling the whole way there. In any case, the face you're making now is no face to show a client, Phoenix. But, so tell me about it. I'm going to guess that my sister is in a lot of trouble again. 1 second. I told her everything what happened in the last 2 days. Mia closed her eyes, deep in thought, while she listened. I see. Mia, what am I supposed to do? It's pretty clear what a good lawyer does in this situation. And that is? Tell me, please! Believe in your convictions. And fight for the complete acquittal of your client. You think Maya's not guilty? How can you be so sure? I know she is, and I'll give you a hint as to why. Yes, mediums can't have dreams. They can't? From what you told me, it sounds like Maya was having a dream while channeling. Yeah? She said she dreamt that she had died and had been buried in the ground. But that is impossible. You've heard it from her, I'm sure. When a medium channels, her own spirit disappears. Which means that it's impossible for her to dream during that time. Then, what does this mean? I think it's safe to bet that Maya was set up. A setup? It's up to you to blow the lid on this case tomorrow and show she was set up. How am I supposed to prove her innocence when I've got nothing to go on? If you're looking for a clue, it's already in her hands. It is? Just as it sounds, Phoenix, you already hold the key. Really? Come on, show me the key to this case. The key, huh? Alright, I'll show it to her, the key I hold. Mia, have you seen this key before? Ah, the key. It's literally the key to understanding everything that's happening in this case. This key? Phoenix, listen. Right now the key is sitting in your hand. However, it shouldn't be. It contradicts the facts. What does she mean? I'm certain this key will be the piece of evidence evidence that makes your case tomorrow. You already know everything you need to know. You know what the key to this case is. Ha ha. That is enough. But, how can I win tomorrow without knowing who the real murderer is? Who could have... I didn't know it at the time. But this day was going to end with a turn for the surprising. Mia! What? What's wrong? What's wrong? That's right, only I can see the psyche locks. Which means Mia must know something about the real murderer. But for this to be something that she should hide under lock and key from even me. What in the world is going on? What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No. I heard it's a successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a real sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, also he could win. He was a man possessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now Successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearly? You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother's watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yep, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't... Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them, but when your rivals for life... Maya! Please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot. You don't know. He's gone. And he's not coming back. What? Oh, wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please I'm sorry. Court will... Oh my god. Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? What is with this kid? Ahem, Mr. Wright, are you prepared? I'm certainly not prepared, that's for sure. Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Good God, I cannot read today, or do any acting. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct? Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? I am Francesca Von Karma, the protege. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can. Ow! I'm talking. If you interrupt again, my VIP will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person, I beg you. Yow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please. Those of the von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from a guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense? Plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stand by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall not cause the first witness. She's just as scary as her father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation. Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. God! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows, and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's where they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. So, how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. This is another one of those press all situations. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Face, were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. Walked right into her hands there. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know she was shot at point blank? Mr. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I grow tired of the foolish fury of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn. When something is shot from point blank, a burn is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. I'm sure that's not going to become important later. Stabbed? And what was she stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see, and whose knife was it? Looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? Oh, this does not look good. Ha ha ha! What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. The date and time of death was June 13th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard the 2 gunshots. Have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. Huh. This does seem like an open and shut case. Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes. Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. Alright, if we justified self-defense, we'd basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Ma's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright? The defense will not change its plea. We'll accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective! Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir. Now see here, proceedings are run by... Ah! Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. So, this is the costume. That certainly is evidence of a black spray of blood on this. That piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprint on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. We can't examine it yet. Could this situation get any worse? Ha! What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. This blood on the costume. Lab results show that it's the victim's blood. So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well. If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Ah, yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Not even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I could chew here, what should I do? Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. I just have to look harder. Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There's no way for you to poke a hole in it. Ah, looks like my time is up. So about the costume. Your Honor, actually, there's something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where's the problem you're talking about? Come this far, there's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Take that! Excuse me. I asked the court, please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve. There's a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke, nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. I agree there's a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If we not find more definitive problem with the evidence, then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes. Heh, and to call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Yeah, it did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. You're right. Seems you are correct. The victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is with that are you finished yet laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that my affair was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Why, that's right! Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No! Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. During the chairman, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out the gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defense then picked up the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. What do you mean? The little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? A gunpowder burn? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! There's not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. That is a very good point. What exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything of aim. And I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of the fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then, that's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then, while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took a shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. There is a fatal flaw in our argument, Your Honor. Fatal flaw? Very interesting. I would love to see what this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in our explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took a shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Take that! This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I'd like to point the court's attention to the hole in the folding screen. What? It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... When the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Orja, Orja! This changes everything. Please look at the diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Somewhere around here. Uh-oh, the judge's face is scrunched up like he just smelled some serious bad breath. That doesn't mean... But doesn't mean... Wait, I just realized I forgot to brush this morning. Excuse me while I freshen up. Sure. In the meantime, I want you to think things through again, Mr. Wright. Of course. Whoops. What is done... Take that! She was standing here near the folding screen. Wait a second. He knows the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, then there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah, cuss, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you... I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this changed the defendant's situation? Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with a knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. My favors a real murder. Why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oof, alright. With this, the rest of the trial should be the best. Blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Such things that you've been able to take a completely hopeless... Sorry. A completely hopeless case to this point. Neither of my papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Ugh, of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it all my fault? You can start preparing your standing by first removing that third three-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Lana. Very well, the court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. Whew. Alright. Well, I went a little over because I felt that was coming. So, we finished the first half of trial number 1, and next time we'll get into trial number 2. Until then, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Boney Time for more content, especially more Ace Attorney. Also, please make sure to share this video far and wide so we can get as many eyes on the series as possible. I will see you guys next time.